folks, Moose here. So this video is going to be well, the first of 3 videos this month for the month of February, and I just want to let everyone know that all 3 items that I'm going to be scrapping this month for the Friday videos are donated by Scrapper John. He's a fellow Mainer who had a few things that he wanted to see broken apart, so he dropped them off. First one, what we're going to scrap in this video, is this phone, which is, I believe it's for people who have like hearing loss and vision problems, or the elderly or something. So we're going to take it. It's all touch screen. The power supply is gone. There's some other parts that are missing. So I'm sure these phones are fairly expensive, but because we can't test it, because it was a requested video, it's not my item, I'm going to be scrapping it anyway. So let's take a look, see what's inside. Alright, so for starters, we've got the headset and this wire. So this is going to be low-grade communication wire. There are some gold-plated pins in the end there, but that's about it for that. So put that aside. And in this handset, does not appear. Maybe trying not to take off a finger while doing this. There usually isn't much in these handsets, but just to be thorough, yeah, that's going to be a real bugger to take apart. So I don't think I'll be able to show you on the camera, but what I can tell you is that there is a small speaker. Looks like a few small wires going the length of it in there, and then a small steel plate in there to give it weight so that it sets back on the receiver. So that I'll probably just throw into my light iron pile. Now, looking at this thing, the first thing I'm noticing, no screws, which is a little alarming. Let's see if this thing just pops off somehow. Yep, it'll pop off. Hopefully. Alright, unless there's screws that I'm missing somewhere. And yep, I'm missing the screws because they're hidden underneath these rubber stoppers. It's like I've been saying in all my videos recently, there's always another screw. Alright. That's way too small. Alright, now as some of you may have been noticing lately, my videos have been slightly less edited. There's a reason for that, because I think it's important for people to realize that, scrapping, especially, stuff like this that most people would do pretty much basically just for gold recovery, there's a lot of time involved. These things, they don't just fall apart. You gotta take them apart. Some things come apart easily, some things don't. So you've gotta keep that in mind when you're thinking of getting into this, or what have you. Alright. So those screws are gone. I don't see any more screws or any other tabs I can pull off. So alright, let's try that again. Wow, that is tight. Oh, there we go. I'm wondering how many of you people out there sitting there cringing, going, oh my god, you know how much that phone's worth? Yep, like again, like I said earlier, it's not, technically it's not my property, it is Scrapper John's, and he wanted it scrapped, so I'm going to do what he said. Alright, so this is going to go into your ABS, your recycled plastic. Alright, so we've got a little bit of stuff in here. We've got the board that has some gold flashing on it. So, let's see if we can get you a closer look in here. So we got some monolithic ceramic capacitors. Got a transformer there. Some IC chips scattered about, some more MLCCs here and there. Tiniest bit of wire. But like we noticed in the video that I did with the other office phones, if you're doing this for wire, yeah, you're not going to make any money. Alright, so next, find the screwdriver, just got rid of. Take a look at it. Or I could just cheat. Yep, cheating works. So this board is kind of anchored down by a lot of these little wires. So we're going to cut those. Big wire down there. Alright. So get another board underneath the top large board. Got one of those really wide wires. Kind of like the ones that you see on drives. Alright, so now what I'm noticing on this board is there's going to be, yeah, you should be able to see it on the screen. There's a lot of gold plating on this board. Now, you can tell a lot about the gold plating by looking at it, and you get better at, judging the plating, the more of it you do. So this, because it's a very dark yellow color, I'm going to say that this is a high quality plating, or higher quality I should say. A lot of plating, especially in the newer stuff, if you look at it, it's really, really shiny, almost to the point where you can almost see the copper underneath it. That's really thin plating. It's not very good. You're spending a lot of money on chemicals to get a not very large amount of gold. So any other stuff that I'm going to notice on this, take that little metal panel off here. Take a look what's over there. Alright. So we've got a little crystal oscillator in there. Alright. Let's see. Gonna have some gold plated pins in there. Yeah. Really not a whole heck of a lot. I mean, there's some things on here that I don't really know what they are. And I'm sure that there are viewers out there who do. For example, let's see if I can get the light to hit that. So, this thing right here, Not quite sure what that is. And that's just a fuse. Alright, and then nothing else there. That might be a little switch. Some gold-plated pins probably, and these little wire ends. That's about it for that. So, we move on. See if this will still work. Sweet. Alright. Well, that's a much better board. I mean, for the weight, absolutely. Alright, where are my little brush cutters? Get rid of that wire. Alright. Oh. Speaker magnet. Okay. So let's see if I can zoom in on this a little bit. Alright. So to start off with, we've got two crystal oscillators. We've got these little 3 BGAs, and those are some of the good quality BGAs right there. We've got a whole bunch of these tiny little monolithic ceramic capacitors, but they all add up, you know. We've got some smaller IC chips over here, and just like the other one, a bunch of, you know, gold plating here and there on the board. So, I mean, and on the other side we've got some gold plated IDE pins, some more monolithics, and that's pretty much it. So this board is probably considered a mid-grade board. Definitely not high grade. There's just not enough stuff going on it. So I mean, for someone like me, I mean, well, we'll talk about scrapping these things smarter at the end of the video. All right, so we keep on going. I've got this little thing. So this is where the phone receiver plugs in. There's some gold-plated pins in there. Wire, 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 wire. Wire pants on fire. Alright, so, alright, now we've got these wire ends here that go probably most likely to the touchpad in the front, which, oh, yep, there we go. If I can take that out without breaking it, that would be awesome. Alright, so this thing, alright, so there's a battery right here, a little piece of metal there, speaker, a little Alnico magnet on it. Put that aside, and back to this touchpad. Alright, so this is basically like an iPad screen, I guess. And these wire ends, if you look at them, some of them are gold plated, some of them are not. So if you look at them and you see that they're gold plated like that, just take a pair of scissors and trim them as close as you can, you know, just like that, and throw those into the AP. It's essentially the same thing as a gold finger, just on a plastic wire base. So it's still gold. It's still easily recovered the same way as gold fingers. It probably takes, you know, a lot more weight to add up, but then again, these are a lot lighter than the circuit board fingers. And this wire over here, and the rest of it's going to be considered low grade. It's not gold all the way through. I know some people have asked that before. So let's see what's behind door number 3. And nothing. So just this material. We got another piece of steel here. Plastic. Plastic, plastic, plastic. Plastic. I don't know if there's anything else in this stuff. If there is, put it down in the comments. This piece going all the way down there. Sometimes there's gold plating on that, but not on this one. So I'm going to put that all with my plastics. And this is, I guess, just going to go with my LCD screens. Oh. Alright, so if you look really carefully, oops. If you look really carefully at the bottom, you can see that little line of gold. So there is some gold plating down there. And yeah, I got it. Sometimes it sticks, sometimes it doesn't. So I'm going to take that and I throw that in with the other gold plated wire ends. This is going to go with my LCD screens. Save them up. That's what I was told I should be doing. I'm still trying to find a buyer for them, but haven't found anything yet. So we've got that. So we've got our little LCD screen, tiny little bit of wire. We've got some light iron. Alright, we've got our board. So this is what I wanted to really focus on with you guys. So when you're scrapping this stuff out, the trick is to scrap smarter, not harder. And to do that, the first thing you really need to do is go to your own scrapyard, the scrapyard that you think you're going to use the most, or the one that's closest to you, or however it is. I mean, here in southern Maine, I don't really have a whole lot of options, especially within my driving distance. So what you got to do is you got to figure out, number one, what do they pay for things? All right, if you can find like a printed price list, that'd be awesome. So you find out, you look at at this circuit board. This is a mid-grade board. Number one, does your scrapyard take mid-grade boards? Or are they like mine, where it's just circuit boards or motherboards? Because that's pretty much all they take. And circuit boards at my scrapyard get light iron prices. So if your scrapyard buys them as mid-grade boards, which is a higher rate than light iron or like low-grade board, what you're going to want to do is leave all of this stuff on there and just sell it to them as is. In my situation, they only buy boards like this as like light iron price, but transformers, they pay a few pennies more. So for me, it's worth it to take the transformers off, aluminum heat sinks, whatever, and sell them separately. Now the next step in that is depopulating these little things. Now once you start taking stuff off, you instantly lower the the value of it. Like something like this, if I took the BGAs off, all right, on this thing, it would probably drop it right down to a low grade board. So keep that in mind when you're breaking down your stuff. Is it worth it? Are you going to make more money if you leave it as is, as a whole, which is probably like what, an ounce? Or are you going to make more money if you depopulate it and then sell the rest as a low-grade board? I mean, my yard will buy it as a low-grade board with pretty much nothing on it, because I'm pretty sure they just buy them to recover the copper from the etching. I could be wrong, but that's my belief anyway. So keep that in mind. It's all about scrapping smarter, not harder. So you could be selling these boards to your scrapyard. Like with me, if I sell it as a low grade board like this, the way that they buy it, I'm losing money. If I take all the wire off back here and the transformer and depopulate some of the stuff that I can recover the gold from and then sell it to them, I'm making more money. All right. So that's pretty much it for that. Alright, so that's it for the home phone for the, I guess, visually impaired. Something that I saw there that I thought was kind of interesting is this nice little warning down here. I'll read it for you. Federal law prohibits anyone but registered users with hearing loss from using this device with the captions on. So apparently it's a no-no to use captions on phones. I guess, whatever. Alright, so there's that. So thanks for watching. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit that bell so you get notifications whenever I post some new material. And also, I want to make sure that you look in the description part of this video for the links to the very few channels if you want to be entered to win my 100,000 subscriber giveaway, which I'm going to be having December 31st, 2020. All right, or before that. If I reach 100,000 subs before that, of course, I'll have the drawing before that. But I'm going to be giving away all kinds of great things, you know, ingots of everything from aluminum, copper, silver, and gold, and you know, some other stuff, t-shirts, hats, and stuff like that. So make sure you check it out and enter to win. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything except for less than a minute of your time. And again, thank you for watching. See y'all later.